So I went to the public lecture of David Hu, who won the Ig Nobel Prize, which is basically a parody of the Nobel Prize, which is given out to an unusual or trivial achievement in the field of science. And for Dr. Hu, he focused on the study of fluid mechanics with urination and the time it takes for different animals of all sizes to urinate. And he started his lecture actually with the entire concept of the Ig Nobel Prize of science being more fun. And one of the biggest things that he talked about was the achievement gap that's different from the U.S. as well as different our other countries, and how we are lagging behind in the scientific subject field. And one of the biggest components he is making science fun and more entertaining and more broad for others to enjoy, researching and diving more into topics such as fluid mechanics and other fields in the scientific arena. And one of these, he talks about several examples, including if you lean to the left, the Eiffel Tower actually looks smaller. Something that's not something that's necessarily need to know, but it's something that's fun that people start trying to do every time you go to Paris. You start leaning your head to the left, wondering, does it really look smaller? But it's things like that that makes science more fun, and actually how he got into what he studies now of the fluid dynamics. And he has a lab here at Georgia Tech that he talked about flow speed and the proportions of the urinary system compared with different animals of different sizes. So his first example he pointed out was between a poodle and an elephant. And for a poodle that weighs 5 kilograms with a 0.2 liter bladder, urinates in a total time of 24 seconds, which is fairly quick. And when compared to an elephant, which is significantly larger at 5,000 kilograms with a bladder between 18 and 20 liters, you definitely wouldn't expect a time of urination to be 22 seconds, which it was, is what she found. And the biggest question was why? Well, fluid mechanics and the physics behind it is what Dr. David Hu and his lab of students were able to research and kind of put a finger on exactly what made this true. And one of the first things they looked at was flow speed. And for the poodle, which has a significantly smaller bladder size and amount of urine, the key about not making it as quick and making it last 20 to 24 seconds was the flow speed. And for a smaller bladder like that, it's almost a slow dripping. And when they had this slow motion camera, as he described, it was a very slow dripping, which slowed down the process of it. It has a smaller window, a smaller hole to exit, so it can't come out as fast. So the total volume gets spread out over a total of 24 seconds. For the elephant, the exit is obviously a lot larger. Therefore, with that much fluid, that much liquid, and that big of a hole for it to escape, it's able to all evacuate the bladder within 22 seconds, which will come out as a jet stream, which is a lot more powerful than the poodle's urination. And even with all different tests on different animals, he found that there's a 20-second average with about a plus or minus 10-second variation, which is surprising that he was able to find that much consistency among the various animals that he did test. And one of the biggest keys was the proportional measurements of the urinary system, of having there be a proportion of size of the bladder and flow speed. So, like I said, Dr. David Hu winning the Ig Nobel Prize, making science a lot more fun than most people look at it initially.